How's everyone doing? So I've gone live recently on my Facebook page, which is NU Journeys Counselling, talking about this topic. So if you want to head on over there afterwards, you can do. But I thought because it's such an important topic, I'd also make a live video for my YouTube channel. I do appreciate all of my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing and for engaging in the videos that I make. So if you're watching for the first time, my name is Marianne Hanson. I'm a counsellor. I'm also a coach. I work with individuals who are struggling with stress, depression, low self-esteem, and I also do couples counselling and work with individuals who are struggling with relationships. So recently I heard the news about Mike Thalassitis, I'm going to call him Mike T, I can't pronounce his surname properly, who from Love Island, who took his own life. I'm not sure when it occurred because I've seen lots of different articles. I've seen stuff online and stuff. I don't know exactly when it happened, but I know that it was really surprising to a lot of his previous participants from Love Island and lots of other people. And I thought I'd make this video because the topic of male suicide is talked about. I think it's getting better, there's more discussions, but I would say there's still not enough action that's taken or discussions held, because I want to give you a few statistics just to put this into context. Every 2 hours, a man in the UK takes his own life. The number one cause of death amongst 30 to 44-year-old men in the UK is suicide. And some figures are lower than, as in age range. Even though 30 to 44 is the main age, there are still younger men and older men that are also taking their own lives, including Mike. He was only 26. The reason this kind of impacted on me, I would say, is because I did watch the show. I watched the show when he was in it. If you are not familiar with Love Island, it's a show where singles go on the island and then they go on lots of dates, and the whole plan is that they find love on the island by coupling up. They go into couples each week. They choose whether they want to couple with the same person or whether they want to become single. Mike came on there really late as a single person, and his main aim was to target the women that are in relationships, which gave him a bit of a bad reputation. He was called Muggy Mike as a nickname. He admits himself, it was his reputation. Hi, the life mechanic, hi. It was he admits that he came on there as a bad boy. He created a role of who he was going to be. That was his persona, you know, this bad guy that splits up, he goes after all the ladies, splits up the couples. And I think towards the end of the show, when he did leave, he became more popular. People started to see the real side of him, his personality. And from what I've heard in the interviews that I've been seeing, whilst other people that were on the show managed to get work, you know, they managed to get other programs to appear on, they managed to get lots of work from it. He didn't get as much. He was on a show called Celebs Go Dating. But apart from that, he hasn't had the success that he thought he would have, and people are saying that that had an impact on how he felt. He was getting a lot of negative comments about, you know, calling him Muggy Mike on social media. He did have lots of women that were interested in him, but he had lots of breakups. The point is, from the outside looking in, we're seeing this young man, we're seeing a handsome guy. He was really good looking, in my opinion. He's got the like olive skin, he's got blue eyes, he's just nice personality, interesting, funny. But that's what we're seeing from the outside. What we didn't see was what was going on underneath for him. And this is the problem with male depression and suicide. Men will feel, because of how society dictates things, that they have to present in a certain way. So a man that is struggling with whether it's debt, whether it's substance misuse, these are some of the things that can cause depression or suicide, loneliness, pressure to be the provider, you know, unresolved trauma from things that have happened in their childhood. A lot of men won't express this. They'll feel that they can't, or they'll feel that they'll be judged harshly if they do. So for Mike, whatever was going on for him, he didn't feel he was able to share that with people, because each time people have seen him, they're still viewing this person as being in a good place. one of his co-stars from the Love Island, Montana, she was in an interview where she broke down. She was saying that she knew that he had ups and downs with certain things, but she, even the 2 days before he committed suicide, he was texting her, they were joking around. She had no idea. And the way that he decided to take his own life, which was through hanging in a park, also indicates the pain that he must have been going through, because he didn't choose an easy way of committing suicide. Easy meaning that, you know, pills, where he was just lying down and just take the pills and, you know, go to die that way. He chose something that wasn't pain-free and something that wasn't easy, but also he chose a location where he probably knew he wasn't going to be discovered or stopped, or there wouldn't have been the intervention. So that always tells you a bit about what's going on for that person, the manner in which they choose to die. So all I would say really is that for men in this society, for women, if they're struggling with certain things, because we naturally talk, we naturally express our emotions, no one is going to look at a woman who's crying and say, you know, man up, or woman up, or what are you crying for? Stop being silly. We will get sympathy, we will get empathy. People will say, oh, are you all right? And give comfort. If a man cries, in majority of situations, he will be seen as weak, feminine. Why are you acting like a girl? What's wrong with you? Man up, and all these other things. So I think it's a real shame that I do think the pressures that men feel in this society contribute to them being depressed, and then that sometimes contributes to suicide as well. So in order for things to change, society has to be a part of that change. We have to start asking more questions, you know, about men, seeing if they're okay. We need to be giving them permission, if you like, to go and speak to someone about it. In the time I've been counselling, in the 8 years, I've probably only seen a handful of men that have come to see me about depression. And even then, when they've never actually come out sometimes and says, I've got depression, they'll say, my friend suggested I come to see a counsellor. If I say outright to them, do you feel that you're depressed, or can you tell me a bit of your feelings? It takes a long while to be able to coax some of the men to be able to say, you know what, I'm just not coping. And for some men, they will never say that, whether they're in a counselling room or otherwise. So, as I said, the fact that a man takes his life every 2 hours, the fact that it's the number one thing affecting men between 30 to 44, so it's all the media focuses on stabbings in London, all the media focuses on, you know, domestic violence, other ways that homicides, people going out and randomly killing people, fights that are going on in clubs at the weekend. All these things we do know contribute towards the deaths or injuries of men, but not as much as suicide. So what we need to be doing is being more sympathetic, show more empathy, and just allow it, you know, and not doing all these silly things where we're looking at men, how they dress, and saying there's something wrong with them, they're too feminine, what they're doing with these man buns, what they're doing in tight jeans, what they're doing with like nail varnish on. Or there's so much criticism, even though it's there for women, there's a pressure for us to look good and to be a certain weight and be a certain way. What we don't discuss enough is the pressure that's on men. You know, and that there's this ideal type of man that has to be very masculine, macho man, you know, muscly, working out at the gym, that sort of thing. All the men that are not fitting into that narrative, what are they doing? Because they can't express that they're not that type of man. They want to be themselves. So what they do instead is they're probably pushing down those feelings. They're probably deep down dying inside, thinking I'm never going to match up to what society wants me to be, or what my dad wants me to be, or what my girlfriend wants me to be, or my boss. So what am I going to do? And it just creates such an issue that sometimes it does end up being the only way out to get rid of this pain or these feelings is to kill myself. So that's all I wanted to say on it. It just, as I said, I was affected by Mike taking his life because I didn't see that coming. I don't know him personally, but I just, when I saw the news, I was thinking he wasn't someone that I thought was in like any sort of distress or depression or pain. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for joining me, Mechanic. I think that was your name. Anyone who wants to leave comments, please feel free to. Also, if this is a video that you think would benefit someone, please feel free to share. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.